Yeah, hello.
Okay. So good evening, everybody. I'm Shibangi from MyCaptain, and I welcome you to another live session organized by MyCaptain. Today we have with us Mr. Saikat, who is an iOS application developer at Oracle, and he'll be guiding us through his journey in monetizing apps. Before we begin, I just want to tell you that this webinar is in collaboration with Qfuss. It's an online mentorship platform with a community of experts who can guide individuals in their journey. Also, Qfuss holds coaching and workshops on different topics to enhance the skills. So I'll place a link in the chat box and you can check it out. So without any further ado, let's welcome the guest of the evening, Mr. Saikat Das. How are you, sir?
Yeah, thank you. I'm good. How are you, Shivangi?
I'm great. So
Okay.
let's begin with the webinar. Just a gentle reminder for you guys: if you have any question, you can put it in the chat box, question and answer box below. Other than that, if you have any technical query or if you want to ask for some link, you can put it in the chat box and make sure I address this. Okay. So let's start with the webinar. So you can begin by introducing yourself.
Yeah. So a very good evening. I hope you guys are doing great today. As you know, my name is Saikat. Currently, I'm working as an iOS developer in Oracle. So today I'll be giving you a session on app monetization strategy. So I'm very excited to give you that session. So I'm looking forward. So let's start.
Sorry, sir, to interrupt, but we can't see you. You put on your video.
Sorry. Yeah, actually my webcam is not working. So I
It's
already,
okay. All right.
I'm
That's okay.
sorry for that. Yeah,
No
I
problem.
can share my screen, right? Okay.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
So I think host disabled attendee screen sharing. So could you just give me the access?
Yes, can you do it now?
Yeah, I got it. So I hope you guys can see this, right?
Yes, it's possible.
Okay. Okay, let's start. Okay. So what you will learn from this session. So let's see that. So I'll be briefing you on the topic app monetization. So there we'll cover up what is app monetization and why app monetization strategies are so important, and when we should plan for app monetization and different types of app monetization strategies. I'll be briefing you guys today. So, and what strategies we should follow. So these are the topics I'll be covering in this session. So let's not waste time. Let's move forward. Okay. So, so what is app monetization? So in one sentence, the app monetization is the process of converting your app users into revenue. So in a simple word that it is, so you will understand it much better when we just go forward. So here is the important question. So why is app monetization is important? So app monetization is crucial because it has become more common to find that apps are free. So if you go to App Store as Google Store, you will find most of the applications, whatever you download today, right? So most of them are free. So you don't have to pay a penny from your pocket whenever you are trying to download that. So developers must shift their revenue model to generate some cash after the download, right? So this is where your strategy comes in. It's crucial to take the time to make one that ensure this two thing happens. Your app generates growing revenue and you keep your users and user experience relatively intact. So this is very important to understand that user experience is relatively intact. So what do you mean by the user experience? So let me give you an example. So whenever you will be suppose browsing YouTube, so in the YouTube you're trying to listen a song. So whenever you trying to listen a song, you go and browse it and try to listen. So if everything goes smoothly, then yeah, you will set you're a happy customer. Your experience is good, but you will see like sometime the advertisement comes in, or whenever you are trying to uh, listen to music. So that sometimes irritates or it's not what we want as a user. So this will make us unhappy sometimes. But YouTube make it in a very in an innovative way. They gives you something like you have to just wait for 5 seconds. So after that, if you like that, you continue and see this. If you don't, you skip it. So in this way, sometimes we feel like okay, 5 seconds is good, but think about what if it's they will ask you to wait there for 30 seconds. So you as a user you might get frustrated. So as a user your experience becomes bad, and as your experience gets bad, so you know don't want to come to that application. You don't want to visit to that application. You might be searching for some other alternatives. So we have to be very cautious whenever we are planning for a app monetization, that we should plan in such a way that we don't give a bad experience to the user. Otherwise, we'll end up like you we losing the user. One day it will be like there is no user for you. So that's horrible, right? So that's why this app monetization strategy is so important. Okay, so before we choose app monetization strategy, so for we should understand one very basic thing is that if you don't have a valuable product, then planning for your monetization strategy will not work, right? Because if you don't, because our mindset should not be like to make a money, just to make a money, we are making a product. Our mindset should be instead to make a great product, and to scale that product, you should have a great monetization strategy. So before we plan for the monetization strategy, we should first build a valuable product. So I will also tell you the journey, like how to make a valuable product. And in this journey, at what point of time you actually need to plan for your app monetization. Because if you don't can't validate your idea is great, and your idea will work, then there is no point of planning for your app monetization, right? So that's why it's very important to make sure that your idea get validated. So I'll tell you, I'll give you a brief, bigger picture, like how this making a startup works. But as you know, this is a very big topic. I'll be not, it will take another session to cover up. So I will just tell you the minimal information, whatever is needed for this session. So, so let's first see how to make a valuable product. So first thing is like to live in the future ahead of your time. That is the key. So after that, you have to find that what is missing in this world. Then you have to write it down, and then you have to make a prototype and show the prototype to the 100 people, and then iterate on the prototype until it makes sense. So I'll stop till there, and all other things I can't cover it right now. So as you can see, those finding a co-founder and all those things to make your journey for the startup. But here, these three steps are very important. Make a prototype, show the prototype to the 100 people, and iterate on the prototype until it makes sense. So this is the point when it start making sense that okay, you know, now my idea, whatever idea I had, note it down, and I have shown those ideas to my users, and my users are now happy. Now they see they now they think that okay, you have a great product. Now we are willing to use your product. At this time, this is the right time for you to actually plan for your app monetization. So what do you mean by this iterate on the prototype? I'll give you a small brief of it, because the same way how you iterate and to make to validate your idea, the same way also you will iterate to make sure like how to strategize your monetization, because your monetization is also same as your idea there, because your monetization may fail and you have to re-strategize. So let's see this lean startup feedback loop. So this is a very common thing. Whoever is trying to make a great product, they always use this feedback loop. So I'll just briefly tell you about what it is. So first thing is that to generate the idea, whatever you have. So after you have the idea, you make the code. So what do you mean by the code? Code is your minimal viable product. If you can take an example of Facebook, In the Facebook, you have a lot of features, but out of the lot of features, if you take all the popular apps, only 20% of the applications have some feature which is the USP of their product. And those things are need to be tested first, because you don't want to have a waterfall model to make all the features of your product and wait to the market, and then your ad, somebody else users is not going to uh, use your application, then it's a waste of your time, right? So you don't want to do that. You want to make a MVP, a minimal viable product, and after that minimal viable product, you show that thing to your customer, right? So, and after your customer give you the feedback, so there you learn. So whatever your customer tells, oh, I didn't like this, I don't like, if that feature would be there, it would be great, I can start using your application. So then you take that feedback and again brainstorm it, and again you ideate, and after that again you do this same loop until you find, okay, my users are happy now users are telling, okay, this loop is completed. Now I am confident that I have a user base. Now I can think of making an app monetization strategy. A similar way, in this loop, you again ideate what strategies are good for you. So suppose that if you find some strategy of advertising, in-app advertisement, and and you did that in-app advertisement, and after that, when you implement it, and whenever you shown those things to the customer for testing, your customers are not liking it, and they are getting deteriorated. So then again you get the feedback from them, and you understand, oh, my customer base are going down. So now again I have to re-strategize my monetization strategies. So this is how you can also evolve your monetization strategy, and this is how you can this is till now whatever I have tell you, just to make sure, like uh, your app, when to use your app monetization. Okay, so let's now focus on this app monetization. So before you jumps into this market, I just want to show you like how big the market is, how the big mobile application market is. So if you look at the prediction by 2020, the global revenue from apps is set to hit 190 billion. Now that's a significant market for a developer to tap in, right? So that's what market you will be targeting if you are planning to get into this app application development. So now let's dig deeper into the app monetization. So these are the different type of app monetizations we have right now. So affiliated, it's 5%. It's not that popular. You can see physical product, subscription model, and this is a huge uh, disruption, you can say. The subscriptions models are getting very popular, and I'm sure like within coming years this will be a very dominating factor in this monetization market. And in-app purchase are there. uh, so paid applications are there. Advertising is there. So out of this stats, you can see the advertising is the most dominant out of all the strategies we have. So I will go to each of this strategies one by one, so that you can get a better idea of it. Yeah. So as you can see here, so we have monetization strategies. These are the different monetization strategies we have right now. So first thing is our freemium model, then premium models, then in-app purchase, in-app advertising, and subscriptions. So they, so these are the most popular ones. You have a lot other strategies also, but those things I can't cover in this short session. So I'll only brief you about this models. Okay, so freemium mobile apps are free to download. So how do free apps make money? Users can access the app's basic functionality, while certain features or contents can be unlocked by making a purchase. So approximately 94% of the app follow this free app business model. So if you are looking to grow as larger user base as possible, this is an effective strategy. Free apps see dramatically higher download rates, which isn't surprising since users are more likely to download if they can try your app before they pay it, right? So the key to making freemium work is ensure users experience enough value in the free version to convince them to open their wallet for more. It can be tricky to strike the right balance between offering too many or too few features. If the free version is too good, then there's no incentive for users to upgrade, right? If it's not good enough, users won't be convinced the app is worth paying for. So there are some pros and cons. So allow for multiple revenue streams for mobile apps. So cons are typically takes longer for a business to become profitable. So the question is when it can be used. So you can have a large active user base, can deliver an engaging user experience to both free and paid users. This is the only time you should be looking for this kind of model. And one of the popular example is Spotify. So you can go and check this Spotify strategy. So this is a free music streaming uh, music streaming applications, and Spotify is the king of the freemium model. You should definitely go and check about how their model works. Yeah, so this is a premium model. So upfront revenue earned with every download and faster profit can be compelling reasons to choose a premium model. Plus, paid apps generally see higher user engagement and loyalty. People are simply more likely to use something they have paid for. But there are drawbacks. Just I think 20% of paid apps are downloaded more than 100 times. So to determine if it's a good app business model for you, take a look at your competitors. Is your apps obviously superior to the free alternatives? Why would a potential user choose your app over a free download? Right? That question you should be asking yourself. One of the keys to achieving the success with this approach is establishing the value of your app right away. That means as many 5-star rating as possible alongside a compelling description, rich UI, and comprehensive feature set. So pros are revenues tied directly to download, and cons are average customer lifetime value tends to be lower than other mobile app monetization models. Okay, so now we should see like in-app purchase. They allow users to buy content service or a special features like game booster that skips a level, sets a photo filter, and personalized works plan within an app. So you might be have seen this in most of the games. Suppose if you take an example of PUBG, in the PUBG, whenever you are trying to buy some new assets, they ask you to pay. So in the in app you have they are charging you, but the strategy you should understand, they giving you the application for free. You can play the games for free, and but they're asking to purchase some assets and something. But and if you can take some strategy games, like strategy games, what's their strategy to make money is to uh, is equal to is time. Instead of time, you if you want to buy time, because you suppose if if you have to build one building, and it takes more than 4 hours, but you can buy some kind of boosters from their in-app, and they will make it they will be unlocked within a second. So these are the different strategies. Most of the games whoever have played might have seen it, that they use this in-app purchase, and this is very popular, and this is mostly used mostly by the games applications. Okay, so in-app advertising. So what is in-app advertising? So this is by removing the barrier to pay upfront. Apps that use in-app advertising look to attract a large enough user base and gather sufficient information about them to place highly targeted ads for advertisers. As with any mobile monetization model, the user experience is critical. So when it comes to in-app ads don't have to be intrusive or pushy. When ads are highly targeted and present the right offers to the right users, they can add values. So what the one of the popular example of this in-app advertising is our Instagram. So if you see here, so whenever you are scrolling, right? So it's like in your feed, if they will give you something which is which you because they're collecting data, they're collecting your habits every day, right? Whenever you scroll, so they knows when you are pausing and at what suppose if you're scrolling, right? You're scrolling and you stop in some sales which offered for clothes, so they capture the data. Okay, you might be interested on that, so they keep on analyzing you, like what is your choice, what is your habits, and they will only push those advertisement which is relevant to you. So if they push those advertisement which is relevant to you, there is a higher chances for you to tap on it and see that. And and it's not even irritating, because you are just seeing the feed and all of a sudden it's coming, and you will feel like it's inside the app, it's not coming from an external thing. That's why in-app advertisement is very popular right now. Okay, so what is a subscription model? As you know that right now subscription model is everywhere. If you take a Netflix, if you take Amazon Prime and Hotstar, so everybody is taking this path nowadays. The subscription models offers your users more option than simply buy or don't buy. Many apps offer several subscription tiers with a mix of features and pricing, convincing hesitant users to subscribe at a lower tiers and upselling them over time. And this subscription model, the pros are that can attract a large number of free users and hook them on your app before converting to paid. And con can be difficult to determine how much content to offer for more free before requiring a subscription, right? So that's why that's why it's becoming very popular. They are giving the app for free, and they are giving you some of the some features are for free. You can use those things, and after that if you want to use some more feature, they are asking for a subscription, and in every month you keep on subscribing. And also if you subscribe for yearly, so that gives them a better data to know that, oh, I got this much users are got engaged for me for another year. So that's also give them a kind of a surety that, okay, this many user base are still with me. So that's why this model is becoming very popular right now, and I hope this will be the future of advertising. Okay, so the what is data monetization? So the data monetization is a large app audience can be valuable for many different reasons. One of this is that whenever a user interacts with your app, they generate a form of data. This information can be anonymized and then quantified, and it can then provide valuable insight into customer behavior. This is known as a big data, and it is used for many things, from how to build a smart cities to deliver better and more personalized advertising to users. So one good thing about data monetization is that you don't have to have a ad mechanism. Like you might have seen a lot of applications. When you're using that application, a lot of ads used to come. So, and when a lot of ad used to come, you become very irritated, like why this many ads are coming, I don't want to use that. But one good thing about this data monetization is that they don't monetize with the help of your advertisement. Instead, they are taking your data and they are selling your data and they are making money. And this is a good for both, in both the way, like they are also making money, and also you are also not getting your user experience is not becoming bad. And and another strategy in some people are also using is, like, they are showing you a lot of ads, and that me becoming a very bad UX. But they're adding a great value because their product is unique and you people has to use it. So because of that, because they're making their UX bad, and that's why they are also giving them a subscription thing. Just you subscribe to, you give me this much money and I'll make it ad free. So that is also another strategy people are playing. They're earning money from both the way. So they are earning the money from advertisement also, and also from like, if they don't want to see the advertisement, they, so you subscribe and give us some premium. That is also another strategy people are following. Okay, so so here is some tips what I feel. So if you're planning for your first venture, you can mix and match by offering a free app with a targeted ads and a free premium version of your app for the user who wish to pay. So so suppose that if you are very new to this, so you're trying to launch your first application, so you don't want to take a risk. First you want to understand the market. So you first you want to understand how this everything works. Then you find a very small problem and try to solve that small problem and try to monetize your application using advertisement and this freemium strategy. And after you have your first business up and running, the monetization strategy works well, then it's time for you to jump the next curve. So generate an idea which solves the critical problem of a targeted user, validate user using lean startup feedback loop. And after your idea is validated, and plan for your monetization strategy. More likely subscription model. Now subscription model will work because you have a great product with you already validated using lean startup feedback model. So that's my thoughts. So I just give you as an tips that you can experiment if you are planning for to make some applications and trying to go live in future. Okay, so before I finish, I will try to give you an in very innovative example. So this is an I am rich applications. So this I am rich application was launched on App Store by a developer, I mean Henrich, and which was distributed using in App Store, right? So when launched, the screen only contains a glowing red gem and an icon that, when pressed, display the following mantra in that large text: "I am rich, I deserve it." So the application described as a work of art with no hidden functionality, with its only purpose being to show other people that they can able to afford it. So it's kind of a challenge they are doing that, and they set the value to the highest value, 999 at that time, whatever the App Store allows, and they uploaded this application, and 8 people bought the application also. Can you believe this? And so and why I showed you this application is to show you this, and nothing is impossible if you try, if you become little innovative, you can do anything. Okay, that's it from my side. Thanks a lot. So if you have any questions, please go ahead.
Okay. All the attendees are now open to the questions. You can put it in the question and answer box on the lower panel of the screen. So we already had one. There was, is there any app which you've created or you've worked on?
Sorry.
Is there any app which you've created or you worked on?
Yeah. So I have worked on multiple applications. So I have, for first application, what I have worked on is on a the it's known as Knock Knock Doc. So it's a medical, basically a medical applications. So in that it's what it's do is it's connect and user and a doctor virtually, so that they can they can tell their concerns, and they can do a e-prescription to them. And after that they can do a regular checkups and they can do follow-ups. All those things you can do with that applications. That is the first application I have worked on, and I have worked with a lot many applications like that.
Okay, I'm sure that was very helpful to the people. So how did you get into this field, like monetizing apps, creating apps? How did you think that this was the choice field?
Okay, so actually I started my career from a startup. So in that startup, I started working as an SQL developer. For 6 months, I have worked on the SQL developer. So after that, we had an urgent requirement from our uh, a client that they want a mobile application. So for that purpose, our startup, they formed a team, and I was part of that team. And from there, my journey started from this field.
Okay, that's great. So how would you suggest that a student who's into this field, who's say engineering or app development, software engineering, how do you think that they should, develop their career for a
Okay.
student?
Yeah. So what I feel is like, before you start jumping into one thing, right? So it's always better to know the breadth of the IT field. Like what are the things are there, and in which what are the different opportunities are there. So you go for the breadth, and after that, whatever you feel like is exciting, and it excites you the more, and you start investing more time on this, and you try to make a good portfolio for in that domain. It can be either even blockchain for AI, or ML, or even mobile application. So if you feel, so my domain is mobile application, so I can suggest you, like, if you come if you take this path. So in this path you have, yeah, so nobody wants a mediocre, everybody wants a, an expert. So whenever you start your career, always try to look for non-functional stuffs. Focus on your non-functional thing, because most of the application developers, what they do is they only focus on the feature. So they only focus on, okay, I have to give this feature, I have to deliver these features, and they don't even think about the end user. So what end user wants, what problem I'm trying to solve, and is that problem is and what value I'm trying to solve. And because they don't think about it, they only think from the perspective of features. They end of the day, you have to make your users happy. But most of the time what happens is that they don't think about them, and they end up making a working functionality, but they stop thinking about UX, user experience, and they stop thinking about uh, how your app performance, is your app performance is good. So is your localization is done, like internationalization is done, like if somebody from somebody knows Hindi, you cannot show them English. If somebody is from Spain, you should show Spanish. So these things, these small details, if somebody will look into, so obviously they will grow their career in a great way.
Great. Also, I want to ask that there are also ways with which an organization can collaborate with another organization. Right? So it is different from the startup you work with. So maybe they can collaborate with a bigger organization. How difficult or how easier is it for you? Do you think that it is for to collaborate with the other organizations?
Uh, Actually, can you just come again? I just missed your question.
I said that there are also ways with which you can collaborate with other organizations, right? Like unlike the one where you work with a startup. So how easier and how difficult is it to you, for you if you think, according to your experience, that are collaborating with other organization and doing things their way?
Okay, okay. So yeah, so that's the fun in a startup. I will tell. In startup, you will get more what to say. You will get more freedom. Uh, because in the startups they have less funding. So in the less funding, if they will have only, they can only mainly they can hire freshers and so whoever, and they hire only one or two experienced people, and and they don't micromanage. They will give you full freedom to work, like they will try to tell you, you innovate, and if you find something, they encourage that. So that's the fun in working in a startup. And you have fun, and also you have more work pressure also. uh, so and it's, you can't learn anything about the process in the startup. So startup is very ad hoc environment, you can say. Anytime anything can will come up, and you have to address it. You might not have your own personal life also in some point of time, but it's okay, because you're starting your career. You can have a great learning opportunity in the first place. So I'll always suggest people to start with any startup if you really want to stand out in this sector in a longer run. And after that, whenever you go to bigger companies like Oracle, these places are good to learn about the processes, how you can manage the same thing whatever you did there. How can you manage it well? How can you scale it well? Like how you made there a small product, how can you make a very bigger product by following the different processes. That what you will learn from big companies. So before you learn that, I will always suggest you guys just to go start your career from a startup.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Are there any open questions, attendees? You can put it in the question answer panel. Okay, I think that winds up with all the questions. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us this evening. Thank you for giving us your time, and thank you for letting us know about monetization of apps. I'm sure the attendees learned a lot in today's session. Before winding up, is there anything you want to say to us? Hello?
Hello.
Uh, yeah, I was saying that thank you for giving your time. Thank you for telling us about monetization of apps. Before winding up today's session, is there anything you want to say to the attendees?
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So your voice was breaking, so I just made that.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
So yes, thank you so much for attending the session. So I hope you guys have I've successfully tried to give you whatever I know just about this topic. So if you have any further questions, I have already posted my email address here. So you can ask me questions. You can post your questions. I will definitely try to answer them as much as possible. So stay connected. Thanks a lot. Stay safe.
Okay, thank you so much for giving us your time. I would also like to thank all the attendees who joined us. I'm sure the session was very interesting and intriguing for all of them. Thank you guys. Good night. Stay safe.